Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Illiana Stock Car Radio proudly brings to you episode 112 of the Illiana Stock Car Radio podcast. Jerry Banning here with the brothers Goodacre, Chris and Brian. Did you like my little wrestling intro right there?
Yeah, tonight I like it. You got the hat, you got the intro.
Yeah, I mean we're ready, man. We're ready for a little worlds colliding here on this episode. It's going to be a little bit different. Not your traditional guest, not your racing themed guest, although he is a race fan, which is pretty cool. But yeah, Brian, you lined up a good guest for us. I'll let you.
I got to give credit to Billy and Tammy for doing this gig and giving me the contact information. But Kyle, the tour manager over at Pure Pro Wrestling, our guests of entertainment, really. I wouldn't say honor, but our guests of entertainment, coming up on Fan Appreciation Night. Is very excited. You know, he's a bit of a promoter type and was very eager to do some content and kind of build this night up. And to be on a podcast. Yeah. So definitely excited to talk to him and see what they all have in store. I know Josh Lank's out there trying to get me to wrestle him or something on Facebook, but I'll leave it to the professionals, if you will.
I mean, I don't know. The three of us could probably handle a run-in or something, a little distraction.
Yeah.
A little. I mean, I could see Chris being a valet,
But what?
Yeah.
I mean, you were actually at Shadyhill last week, so.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
He got dirty.
Yeah.
He got dirty.
I think he still cleaned himself off.
Dirty. I think I'm still trying to get it all out of all the nooks and crannies.
Oh yeah. There probably is a few things we should discuss, but we can say that for later and talk wrestling.
Well, yeah. Well, let's do it. Let's talk wrestling, and then we'll talk racing.
Yeah.
All right, and I guess if you're not down with that, we just got 2 words for you. Not too bad.
Suck it.
Oh, man, that's going to be the blooper reel.
Yeah. Come on.
Oh, man. Oh, all right, well, here is our interview with Kyle McClure, tour manager for Pure Pro Wrestling.
Welcome on, Kyle McClure, the tour manager for Pure Pro Wrestling, on the schedule at Shadyhill next Saturday when this drops, June 28th, for Fan Appreciation Night, the annual Goodacre hot dog toss, which is going to be doubled down, it sounds like, by Shadyhill. So plenty of hot dogs to go around. Y'all can go get your own ketchup and mustard. We don't want to make a mess. Welcome on to Illiana Stock Car Radio podcast. I got it right. A round of applause. Thank you. Boy, we're just rolling. It must be the second and a half beer I'm already drinking.
Yeah, your lubricate is what it is.
yeah, right. I had a late day. I think I had a few snacks and 2 beers and editing photos, so busy man I am this week, but we're happy to have you on, Kyle, and talk racing and talk wrestling and talk racing and wrestling all together for next Saturday night at Shadyhill. So tell us all about Pure Pro and what you guys do, and where you're from, where you've been, and what's it like? What are the fans should expect next Saturday night?
So Pure Pro Wrestling, we're a family-friendly professional wrestling organization. We're based out of Flint, Michigan, but we travel all over the country. We produce our own events all throughout Michigan, Indiana, but one of the really cool things that our promotion does is we work with different professional sports organizations, different racetracks, schools, churches, community organizations to find these different fundraising and these different opportunities to bring our wrestling out and into the community and just to get in front of different eyes that we're not normally in front of. While we're doing that, we try to bring our fans and our community out to these places as well. We've got over 20,000 followers across our social media platforms, and we like to bring them out to these different places. Just this year alone, we've worked with the Grand Rapids Gold in the G League basketball. We've worked with the Egan Lumberjacks, the Flint Firebirds in the USHL for hockey. We're working with the Detroit Football Club. This past weekend, I was in Spartanburg, South Carolina. We worked with the Hub City Spartanburgs. They're a brand new professional baseball team. They're in the high A. They're the high A affiliate for the Texas Rangers, and we were able to bring our show out. Give the fans a nice 45-minute pregame show, and then all throughout the night we were doing different pro wrestling themed, different events, different skits, and anything to highlight the team and bring some positivity around the professional wrestling world.
Awesome, exciting.
Yeah.
And I have to make the assumption that you're probably not bringing a Goldberg or Sting or anything. They're washed up. Maybe they're looking for business, right? Or
Well, no, not. We have a number of former WWE, AEW stars that we work with. It just depends on the night. We've had former ECW champion Rhino work with us on multiple occasions. We had Aiden English at one of our shows about 2-3 weeks ago. We've had Tommy Dreamer work with us before, EC3. There's just a number of wrestlers that have been, on these major TV platforms that we're very happy to bring out when we're able to.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, as a fan Saturday night, what can we expect? Are you going to give me a Stone Cold Stunner, or just?
Absolutely. So, Saturday night at Shady Hills, we're going to be producing, an event right before, between, I believe it's hot laps and when we go racing in the heats. We're going to have a bunch of our wrestlers out. We're going to be meet and greeting throughout the night. I think we're going to head over to the pits. We're going to meet some of the racers, do a little bit of photo ops with them, do some photo ops with the fans, and then, we're going to help promote the show throughout the night. Just do different things to help bring some light to Shady Hills and, really show them and show everybody that, we're very collaborative and we're excited about these opportunities.
Yeah, that's definitely exciting. You hail from Michigan, and I know we have a few Michigan racers that come down from time to time. They're kind of that southwest corner over there, Hartford, and I don't know what other tracks might be over there, but I guess Kalamazoo, but that's asphalt. But
Kalamazoo would be asphalt. Up in my area, Mount Pleasant Speedway is my home track here. It's about a mile down the road. Crystal Motor Speedway is about 45 minutes south. They got big shows down there, big late models. The big series around us for regional action would be the Great Lakes Super Sprints. So they've got Super Sprints, the traditional sprints, and the Lightning Sprints. We're happy to be, work with them and happy to go out and support their causes.
Yeah. So you guys have definitely been around racing for a while now. When did Pure Pro kind of start venturing into that race scene?
So Pure Pro has been working with different, sports organizations for a long time. We started, working with, I believe our first team we worked with was the Great Lake Loons out of Midland, Michigan. I think we did that back in 2017 or 2018, I believe. We were really starting to get some traction in that world, and then unfortunately COVID hits. Well, when COVID hits, that shuts down that entire side of our business. We had to really vertically integrate, so we really had to compress what we were doing. We focused mostly on producing shows out of our training facility at our owner's house. We were able to build a TV studio there where we were able to do all of our filming. And then over the last 2 years, we've really started to branch back out and try to get back into working with these different pro sports teams. Shady Hills they're gonna be the first racetrack we've ever worked with. So for them, this is just gonna be an exciting event. It's gonna be an exciting opportunity, and they get to say that they were the first of many.
That's exciting. We will definitely put that feather in our cap. I can say we. I work with Billy and Tammy enough. I'm part of the family, I guess, at this point.
You were their surrogate
promoter. I was the fill-in promoter. It's a tough job. So tell us about your job and kind of how long you've been there, what you do maybe for Pure Pro as tour manager.
So I've been working with the organization in multiple roles since 2019. Originally started as a wrestler, then, as the years have gone on, kind of progressed to referee, head commentator, and then eventually moving into the front office, producing these events. It's throughout the week. It's a lot of emails. It's a lot of, getting in contact with different organizations, a lot of trying to find, organizations and charities to partner with so that when we go to these places that we're able to highlight as many people as possible throughout the week. And then we get to the weekends, we're starting to travel. We got to, get the guys that we're going to bring with us together. We got to get them to wherever we're going to go. And a lot of the times there's different, a lot of different licensure for different wrestlers, different promoters, all kinds of back of office stuff that you'd never even consider. But
Sure.
It's a lot of work. But then when we get there on Saturday, Sunday, Friday, whatever it is, we get in front of anywhere between a couple hundred to a couple thousand people, and all of a sudden it doesn't matter anymore. Let's go out and do what we can do to entertain these people.
Yeah, certainly the all the work that nobody really gets to see behind the scenes throughout the week. That feeling of it paying off there at the end when you get to event day, and as Chris and I know from the photography side of all the editing, all the graphic design work, all the messages that we handle. I know from Jeremy's standpoint, I know he's camping this weekend, but when he does race, all the hard work on the car, he races over at the Grundy County Motor Speedway in Morris, Illinois. They are always looking for entertainment, so maybe this is a good path to get you guys over there. The right people can talk to the right people, and who knows what happens, right?
God, that'd be right up Big Daddy's alley, Chris.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. So that would be a cool connection we could maybe make down the road.
Well, anybody that would be interested in working with us, they can reach out to us. All of our social media handles are at PPW Power. Our website is pureprowrestling.net. There's all of our contact information there. Reach out to us. I'd be happy to talk with you guys about whatever it is to bring us out with you.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I know as cool as who was the White Sox guy last year?
Ron Kittle.
As cool as Ron Kittle was, and as cool as an autograph might be, I'm certain that he is nowhere near as entertaining as Pure Pro Wrestling.
So let me tell you about a couple of our guys that we got on roster here, all right? So first off, let's start with 70-plus-year-old Father Time. Father
70?
is America's only blind professional wrestler. He's completely blind. He has been for many years.
Oh, God.
With us. He's been blind the entire time, and we've been able to train with him. He's survived multiple strokes, and he survived multiple bouts with cancer. He's a preacher in the Flint area. He's been on Ring of Honor TV. He's been at some of the best places in the world, and he's currently our Michigan State heavyweight champion right now.
Wow.
On
7-year-old and blind?
Yep, 70 years old. He's still going. He's completely blind. It's absolutely inspiring every time he goes out there.
Dude, cheers to Father Time, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Ric Flair who?
Yeah. We got Tank, the Celtic Beast. Tank is one of our junior grapplers. We have America's only children pro wrestling organization. So what we do, they come out to our training facility at Camp Justice, and they're able to train in a safe environment where they're able to learn, teamwork. They're able to learn confidence and communication, and then they're able to, really start to blossom out. Tank started in our junior grapplers organization. He suffered from autism his entire life. He was able to find his voice, and now is traveling all around the country, being a professional wrestler for a living. He's gone to Tennessee to train with Ricky Morin. He's trained with Ethan Carter III, EC3. So just getting to see, where he started with us to now going around the entire country and being able to be this avenue for him to at least start. It's really special for us.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
that's awesome. Well, I know we were talking earlier a little bit about, before we started recording, about kind of a few of the more recent events you've been to. I know that you talked about the Kings Royal and you talked about being with High Limit. Talk about those experiences.
Yeah, so big dirt racing fan. Big. I got my Flow subscription. I'm ready to go. So I originally grew up in central Pennsylvania. Williams Grove was my home track. Spent a lot of time there. Spent a lot of time at Port Royal and Lincoln. As life goes, we move out. I'm now, I work in central Michigan now, so being able to go to Mount Pleasant and Crystal are my big places to go now. On top of that, we do follow the national tours. So if we're able to see the Outlaws, Lucas Oil, or High Limits, we're going to jump on every opportunity to do that. This past year, back in last July, we did Kings Royale on Thursday night for the High Limits portion. Friday night, we went and did NASCAR at IRP. And then we came back and did Kings Royale Saturday night at Eldora for the Outlaws. This past May, we went down to Texas. So we did 2 nights at Texas Motor Speedway with High Limits, and we did the entire NASCAR weekend while we were there. So always looking for places to go, always looking for different to see. And, if we can see the 20 RT of Ricky Thornton in Victory Lane, it's always a good night.
Yeah, sure. So no stranger to racing, no stranger to wrestling for sure. We've recently kind of shifted gears a little bit on our One Positive segment with the sudden decline in fan base around racing, and it's kind of been piled on a little bit recently. I know that there was a big discussion on Facebook this week about support classes and midweek shows running late. But as someone who is, I want to say, kind of a different avenue, something different to get fans drawn to the sport, and as someone who has worked in that kind of role of trying to build something and grow a fan base, what kind of things do you do to help grow that fan base? Whether it's wrestling or your wrestling outfit specific to the all the teams that you service and racetracks that you service. What do you guys kind of do?
So I can tell you some of the biggest things that I see from like events that I'm promoting to events that I go to as a fan. The biggest thing for us is being on time, right? If we say Hot Laps is going to start at 7:00, boy, I want Hot Laps to start at 7:00, right? If I'm sitting there at 7:45 and I'm still watching the grader go around the track, boy, I'm getting a little antsy.
Sure.
I get it with dirt racing. I've been a fan for a long time. Sometimes we got track prep, and sometimes we got to, take our time to make sure these guys are safe out there.
Yeah.
But, that's where we try to work with some of these, different dirt tracks. We're like, hey, a product like ours, this is a great time where, hey, we're going to take an extra 45 minutes of track prep. It's like, well, we can step up and fill that time and, and keep these fans a little bit more engaged. The other thing that I see week to week is when we do our shows, we always want to leave them wanting just a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
I want them to be like, boy, that was a fun night, man. I want to come back out again next week. Sometimes we get into these 6-7 class bangers where we're still up in the stands at midnight, 1:00 in the morning. And it's like, I don't know if I can make it again next week. That might have been too much for me to come back again next week. So just leaving them with that, I just want one more. I want one more. That to us, that's what gets people to come back next week.
Sure, definitely. Well, we certainly appreciate your input on that, and you're definitely an outsider. Yeah, you're into racing, but your vantage point with what you do is certainly different than me or Chris in the infield as a photographer, or Jeremy as a racer / fan, depending on what weekend it is. And so it's interesting to hear your input. It's interesting to hear it compared to the promoter kind of people that we've had on recently, and kind of talk to them, because they are promoting the racetrack. It is their end goal to get fans in the seats, and I think Billy and Tammy by far do the most obscure things. We grew up at a racetrack, right? Asphalt, and it was 3 classes Saturday. That's what it was. There was no shooting people out of cannons. There was no dirt Olympics. There was no money drop. There was no autograph sessions on the track. So we've really come a long way in getting the kids involved. And I know that kind of started back in the early 2000s, because we were doing that stuff, the kid ride-alongs. There was a lot of stuff that getting the fans involved. Because it's not just motorheads going and getting a thrill out of the engines roaring and stuff, which is still cool. Don't get me wrong. There's some of us nerds out there that still like that, but I know that we've talked about that. I don't want to say at length's end, but we have certainly discussed it the past couple podcasts that we've done, and it's really interesting to hear somebody else's viewpoint on it. That goes to different tracks that aren't around here.
I can tell you something really special that Crystal does when we go down there. They got this big school bus down there, and what they do is they'll throughout the night they'll go around, they'll pick up all the kids from around the pit area, just because they get forgotten about a lot, right? A lot of the stuff is, it's geared towards the fans out in the stands. Well, they go around the pit area, they pick them up in the school bus, and they go around, they do hot laps with the school bus for a couple, and the kids are they're handing out the window, waving to everybody. Everybody's waving at the it's just something a little special for those, the kids back there that get forgotten about from time to time.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know Kankakee had a kids club that did that, and I know Grundy has started just racing school buses without kids in them. So as we go deeper down this dark hole of how do we keep racing interesting, to have outfits like Pure Pro Wrestling, entertain the fans while we do what we need to do and make sure that the track is safe and everything. We definitely appreciate what you guys do, and we haven't even seen it yet. We'll get to see it here on June 28th, Fan Appreciation Night over at the Shadyhill Speedway in Madairyville, Indiana. But before you head out, we want to thank you for your time and give you a chance to thank all of your supporters and anybody that helps you out.
Yeah, absolutely. None of this would be possible without our owner, Xavier Justice. We got our Camp Justice in Goodrich, Michigan as our training school. Anybody in Michigan, the surrounding areas, is interested in becoming a pro wrestler, go to pureprowrestling.net. You can see all of our information and get signed up for classes. We do everything from juniors, which would be our children's program, all the way up. We've had 60-year-old Father Time start with us. So anybody that's got any interest in this, I believe we're at $20 a class still for that. If you want to join us, we are all throughout the state of Michigan with our own produced events. We go to Holland, Michigan. We go to Bay City, Saginaw, Owasso, and our home in Flint. And then we also do a lot of these different promotional events for different pro sports teams. I know we got Detroit Football Club coming up, and that's just scratching the iceberg of what's announced so far. So stick with us. You can follow us at PPW Power across all social media platforms. PureProWrestling.net's our website, and we're just excited to branch out to all these different places. If you're with a community organization or a racetrack or anything like that, please reach out to us. We'd be happy to talk with you about what we can do for a partnership.
Awesome, man. We appreciate you coming on and sharing information about yourselves and get us excited for Fan Appreciation Night coming up.
Absolutely. I thank you guys for having me on here.
Yeah. Can I get a hell yeah?
Hell yeah.
I don't want to spill it on my computer.
Way to build it up and let us
I
down.
can't take you anywhere.
If I wasn't so worried about my keyboard, I guess I could buy a new one. I would have done it. Yes. Stone Cold was my favorite, I guess. Him and The Rock. If you smell.
Well, this
I can't
past
do it.
weekend I broke out a Rock quote. I stole a little something from him this past week.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on, Kyle. We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it, fellas.
All right. Well, we've talked at length the last couple of weeks, guys, about entertainment and other things beyond racing.
Yeah, I think, one of the things that that was just in my mind the entire time was get out of your circle.
Get into the squared circle. I got them. I just got a whole list of them. It's just off the top of my head. But it's something different. How many times did we...
Written on your wrist, right?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, right in the palm of my hand. Go a la The Rock style, But, how many times have we, suggested, just talking amongst ourselves, hey, you should do this, or hey, you should do a concert, or hey, you should do something like that. A pro wrestling show for whatever reason, pro wrestling and racing, they kind of go hand in hand. Usually fans of one are usually fans of the other as well. So
And if you're not, you're wrong.
If you're not, yeah, you are wrong. So, it's entertainment, and it's kind of like I titled the episode, man. The world's colliding here. It just kind of seems like a natural fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really got after it in that one. As far as wrestling's concerned, we didn't. I guess we didn't really go too far off the cliff there with how much wrestling we probably could have talked with Chris sitting over there. He stayed pretty quiet, but yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm really interested to see what show they're able to put on. Obviously we watched WWF, WWE. Was it WWE?
Got to get the F out. Right.
Yeah, I know. Well, when I was watching, it was still WWF, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So,
but the World Wildlife Fund would like to.
I know.
Yeah,
They're probably going to hit us. They're probably going to hit us with a cease and desist, which is
Or
probably for
Andor hit
the
you with a
for the
chair.
best.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we've watched that wrestling growing up and stuff,
Yeah,
and
we
I know
grew up during the
Crystal
Monday
does.
Night Wars when everybody
So,
was watching it.
But I remember in like high school there was always like that backyard wrestling kind of league stuff, and like so when I first heard this, we're gonna have wrestlers, like that was instantly what I thought of, was like backyard wrestling. All right, whatever. But they are certainly a more serious outfit than that, and I'm excited to see what they put together. But not to be
someone over here who might have participated in a little backyard wrestling.
Were you in Hebron?
Yep.
That's where you grew. Yeah, that sounds right.
Hey.
But anyway, not to be outdone by the wrestlers. We're still doing the hot dog toss. We just put the fan appreciation shirt order in to shoot shirts out. I'll have probably the wrestlers do it, but nonetheless, we'll have some fan appreciation shirts going out. Plenty of giveaways. Mom's gonna have her photo albums for all the kids up at the booth. Also at Grundy, I know I'm pointing at a screen and not my brother, but Grundy's gonna have some stuff that night. I'm not entirely sure what that night is out there, but I know someone who does. And he's not
Probably Steve Bechtel, because honestly, I put the schedule together so long ago, I don't remember what's going on.
All of it.
But certainly some good weekends coming up. But not to be remiss, we certainly have a past few weeks to catch up on, and it's mostly been rain.
Yeah.
A lot of rain.
Even today, we just got hammered with that afternoon storm. So, but
yeah, I think there's another line still supposed to be coming through at some point.
Probably.
Hopefully after we're done recording, so all of our internet stays intact.
Come on. We've recorded through tornadoes before.
Pretty damn close.
Hurry up, talk fast.
That's true.
But so a lot of rain going on, but Kankakee did get their Hell Tour in, and boy, that opened up a jar of peanuts on that one. So congrats to Jason Fager. He's got 2 wins on the tour. They rain out tonight at Quincy. Let's see, I think Troutman. What the hell's his first name? Drake Troutman's got 2 wins now. So those two seem to be tearing it up on the tour. I want to say, I looked at it, there were 16 states represented by driver hometowns at
Wow.
at Kankakee. So I'm sure that it has kind of ebb and flowed there with the tour with certain local guys showing up and whatnot. But you had Hunter Front guys there, Joseph Joyner, and I forget the other guy's name. Jonathan Joyner maybe. You had Florida, which they're from Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Texas with Herb, a Wyoming guy, Oregon guy, but Hunziger, Tomas Hunziger is your Oregon guy, and he's typically on tour and kind of, I think, hangs out in the Midwest for the most part. Minnesota, obviously, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan. So it's cool to see a lot of different talent out there on that tour. I know you guys may follow Carson Brown on the asphalt side and saw he won at it was a Wisconsin track on like Saturday or Sunday. I want to say it was a race that the ASA Stars Tour did. Carson Brown won that.
Were they at Slinger?
Yep, that's right. It was Slinger. Is that or Madison maybe? Maybe it was Madison.
That was going to be the other one, I'd guess.
Yeah. Anyway, he took a break from the Hell Tour to go win that race, and then he's back on the Hell Tour now. So, stuff like that's going on. It's really cool. I think it's very exciting to see guys doing both asphalt and dirt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a lot of money. So hopefully he's got good sponsorship.
Must if he's be able to do both.
But
Yeah.
I run two
Or
different
even
super
one,
late
really.
models.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. To run two different super late models, that's pretty cool. So not that he's ever going to see this, but shout out to him for running both. That led into big discussion on support classes, on if they should be around or not. And we could sit here and talk till the cows come home, but we're going to leave this one to Facebook. But our quick bit, if I feel like talking for you guys on this one, is that support classes are really what drive racing. We all start somewhere. Jeremy with the
As
Super
someone
Cup
who's
and
driven
the
in
straight stock.
three different
Yeah.
support
Support
classes.
classes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah, you drove the Legend too. So
yeah, street
it's-
stocks, legends, and mini cups. Yeah,
As somebody who knows which pictures sell,
Yeah.
keep the support classes.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, honestly,
it blows my mind that this is even a discussion. Like,
Right. Well, I talked to Rob Hinckley and Lynn Johns Saturday night, and I told Rob, man, like I feel bad that you guys felt like you had to apologize. Yeah, it was late. It was late as hell. I get a Hell Tour. Anyway, we left the track after the last race. I think I texted Kels at 12:26 a.m. I had to work the next morning, so I was rough for sure. But to see if you go look at my pictures, our pictures, well, they're mine, but my pictures on our website, you'll see.
photography.com.
Yeah, there you go. Shameless selfless promotion or whatever.
You can't tell.
Yeah. To see the crowd that packed, and to know that Billy has just, I don't want to say begged, but he's come on and been like, we need fans, and to put a night like that together, man, that was really awesome to see those stands so full. And I know he sold beers and hot dogs that night, so props to the fans coming out. It sucks that they complain about the late night. I know there was a call by Dirt Car, not Kankakee, but by Dirt Car, that the track needed to be fixed after kind of running it in with the modifieds, and that led from like a 10:15 start time to like a 10:45 start time.
Mm-hmm.
So
If
then
they'd have had some pro wrestlers there.
could have filled that time.
Could have filled the time.
But yeah. But support classes need to be at the track, because not everybody can just jump behind the wheel of a super late model, and because that's what looks sexy. What do we call them? Sexy race cars, Yeah, they look great. They're easy to photograph. They're cool. They're fast. They're loud. But we need our support classes.
I mean, think about it. A lot of the times, support classes put on a better race than the main event. Especially like you think like a 4-cylinder going out there and running. Like, those cars aren't supposed to do that.
No.
They're not made to do that. A super late model somewhere is made to go around a racetrack fast, whether it's asphalt, dirt, whatever. But Crown Vic is not.
No. But we're gonna have them at Shady Hill this weekend.
See what I did there?
21st.
See what I did there for you?
Perfect.
See what I did there for you?
You've been on social media.
I have been. Yes.
But
Doing my research, doing my homework.
Awesome. That's good. We love doing homework, right? But
Not anymore.
Yes.
yeah. And I'm sure from a promoter's standpoint, God, cat's got my tongue. Support classes.
2 beers you got in.
Yeah, right.
The Stone Cold style.
Oh yeah, when he did that, he didn't actually consume a whole lot of those.
You're right.
No.
Brandon gingerly tapped them together. Right.
Right. But from a promoter standpoint, support classes are definitely needed. To fill the pits, to fill the stands, to give the fans that are there to watch racing something to watch. And you could go on endless debates about whether you should have 3 classes or 7 classes or somewhere in between, or run all 10 in one weekend.
Oh, out of yeah. Well, they got rained out the second half.
That's right. But
they
do split them too.
Can maybe count on one hand the number of drivers I know that started off in the top division with top equipment.
Yeah,
I think
none.
Not one I know of.
DJ Weltmeyer, who jumped into his dad's old car.
I wasn't gonna call him out like that, but
wow, you just threw that out there, man.
Everybody aside from DJ, they started in a pure stock, worked their way up. Now we got kids starting in mini wedges that are growing into the Hornets, and I think Double B's got a Crown Vic.
Yeah.
And then Evan's got a street stock now, so if you don't have the support classes, you don't have the top end classes.
Yeah, you don't have a farm system.
Yeah.
It's
exactly it. Farm system. Back
in my day, says the 70-year-old blind professional wrestler. You didn't get to NASCAR because your granddaddy owned a business and had a lot of money and could buy you a ride. You had to work your way up like Dick Trickle.
So on our next episode, we're gonna have Mark Martin. Just jump into the big time. We've done the small time. Thanks, guys. We're going big now.
Hey, we've had Kenny Wallace.
We have.
That's true. That's true.
And Mark Martin started racing ASA in our.
Yeah. There's a lot of to be said about climbing the ladder.
Without a feeder system, there's no food.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at that, getting deep.
Yeah.
And speaking of support classes,
I thought he was going to. Speaking of food,
Yeah, speaking of food, welcome to our food podcast.
Yes.
Plymouth has moved to Friday nights. So, if you've had all your Saturdays booked, rearrange.
Chris.
Friday night.
I'm gonna say that.
Yeah. Chris is now double booked.
I'm all for them trying stuff, and see. At this point, how many times have we talked about it? Right now, we just got tracks throwing stuff at the wall to see what works.
Yeah.
And I know Plymouth is kind of in a rough spot. Tony told me that, they're really kind of sharing a fan base and a car set between Plymouth, New Paris, Kalamazoo. There's a few other tracks that I'm forgetting the name. M40. They're all right there next to each other. So, I'm giving props to Plymouth for switching dates. Maybe that'll bring in some more fans, some more cars. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work out with our schedule. So, we'll just watch the weather and decide whether or not Friday afternoon we're going east or west. But I hope something works out for them because I love going to that place and really like to be able to continue going to that place.
Yeah, it's a great facility. So yeah, definitely props to them for realizing that hey, there's an opportunity there to make a change and just go ahead and doing it.
While they're making changes, do you think they can add a super? Since everybody loves super late models.
That's what I'm saying.
How much did Stan give you to ask?
Well, Tony's not here, so. And who knows when Tony will actually listen to this, if he will.
Yeah, the super.
We're going to hear it on
a super
Sunday.
cut date.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, speaking of you not being able to make Plymouth, you'll be there on Sunday.
Well,
so will I, because you need a ride.
Yeah, we'll still be there for the mini wedges. It's just, double booking on Friday is a little rough when the tracks are 2.5 hours apart.
That way.
Yeah.
I'm still working on that being in 2 places at the same time thing.
Yeah,
hasn't worked out.
Yeah, when you figure that out, let the rest of us know.
Yeah.
All right. So, all that being said, one positive. Do we have a hashtag one positive for this week?
Bobby Gash won the feature.
Yeah, and then he's looking for the Shadyhill pictures. How come we don't have them posted yet?
Yeah, well, I still got 400 left to edit because Plymouth rained out early, and they've moved. Well, I guess this was supposed to be Saturday. So I had Chris and Aaron tag along. So 3 people shooting out of their minds. So
Well, two
Got a lot to
people
edit.
haven't been to the dirt track in a while, so we
I
had to
know.
relearn what worked.
Yeah, I know. So I got rid of half of that 3,000. But anyway.
As long as it was the bad half.
Yeah. But congrats to Bobby Gash, putting an end to the what seemed like an endless streak of Jace Owen wins. Not that I was ever mad about it, because his mom, love her to death, man. She buys anything I print of Jace. So I'll have to get creative this week, I guess. But, shout out to him. And actually, shout out to Bobby Gash and Jace Owens, both making dirt on dirt.com.
Yeah.
That was pretty neat. Jace had a write-up done about him, and he had, I think, like 12 or 13 features, one in a row, until Bobby Gash ended that streak on Saturday. So I think my thing's dying, so we got to wrap this up.
No.
Oh, boo. All right, Chris, what's your hashtag one
All
positive?
right. Well, honestly, my one positive being able to get to the dirt track this past weekend, because, as much as Brian dogs me about dog and dirt racing, it's racing. I love racing.
As long as it's on asphalt.
My loyalty is to the tracks that I work at. So Grundy and Plymouth, obviously, I'm my priorities there, and then I send my A photographer and my A, I guess.
Don't say A equipment, because my stuff's hand-me-downs.
Well,
A photographer and B equipment.
Yeah.
Well, I bought the A equipment, so I'm taking that with me. But my best photographer and my best PR person I send to the dirt track.
Yeah.
So okay. It was fun being able to go out there and see. I think I kind of scared Rondo. What are you doing here? Where's Brian? Oh, he's here too. We got rained out, so we came to play in the dirt.
Yeah.
But having the three photographers out there like we did, Brian kind of slacked but didn't slack, because Aaron and I handled the heats like it was a regular race night, and Brian got to wander through the pits and be creative and get some angles we don't usually get because it's we're down in the infield doing the racing stuff. There's once we start racing, there's not a whole lot of creative that we can do, because you can only take so many different victory lane shots, and you're kind of stuck in the infield.
Right.
So it was good, Brian being able to get out and do some different stuff. And I know he texted me, he can't wait to get to Grundy to do that, and then Grundy, immediately rained out the night that we had planned on Brian.
I was going to make
that.
it.
So you're going to get blamed for the rain again, Brian?
No, probably.
No, that was last week. Last week he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way.
Bad luck, Brian.
Bad luck, Brian. Strikes again. My hashtag one positive, I'm going to give to Grundy County Speedway. So they worked on installing the new scoreboard out there. So just love to see the continued investment in that facility. And
I saw quite a few drivers are happy that they're going to be visible on the scoreboard now, because they can't quite manage the top three. I can say that because they said that.
Yes, well, either way. But yeah, still love seeing the continued investment in that facility and our other facilities as well. Probably another deal where that NASCAR partnership's helping out. Just the continued investment there. So that is my hashtag one positive. If you have a hashtag one positive from your local racing experience the last few weeks, go ahead and drop it in the comments below here on our YouTube page or on Facebook on the post on this page. If you've stumbled upon us, you've probably searched at Illiana SCR. If you haven't and you want to, go ahead and search at Illiana SCR on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram to find us on the socials. Like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. That's how you're probably watching this video right now. So
thanks, Mom.
Yes. Exactly. If you want the audio version of this podcast, we're out there as well on your favorite podcast platform, Spotify, YouTube podcast. You can just Google Illiana Stock Car Radio and you'll find it one way or another. Video, audio, whatever. You go ahead and do that. Follow us on whatever platform. Helps all the algorithms and all the fancy stuff behind the scenes do what it does. Any last thoughts for the evening, gentlemen?
I think I used all my wrestling quotes that I knew.
I'm trying to think. I thought I had a good closer a little bit ago, but
well, that's the bottom line.
that was going to be it.
Because Stone Cold said so.
Yes, that was going to be it. But no, we definitely want to thank Kyle from Pure Pro Wrestling for taking the time out to speak with us this evening. I know we're excited to see the wrestling and racing worlds collide at the Shadyhill Speedway on June 28th. We know Brian will be there. Maybe, who knows?
I'll certainly be there.
Might be doing a run-in. Might have him as a guest referee. Something. He might be part of the show. You never know. Either way, only one way to know is to get your backside trackside, and that, my friends, is the bottom line, because we said so. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Illiana Stock Car Radio. We look forward to seeing you here again next time.